everyone and welcome to an unboxing of the latest releases in September for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and one of them is a very large chunky box, the largest I've seen outside of like the scenery boxes since the core set. And this is CP33 Dormammu, who is an ultimate encounter, a regular character, an affiliation leader, comes with scenery. It's a box full of a load of stuff. And you can see how it compares to a normal size box, because over here we have CP48, which is the start of the Midnight Suns affiliation, Blade and Moon Knight. So usually I like doing these unboxings in release number order, so it would technically be Dormammu first, but that doesn't seem fair. So we'll start with the little box here and take a look at Blade and Moon Knight first, and then crack into this gigantic box and see what he's all about. Dormammu watches from afar as we crack in. Oh, there's the back of the box if you want to pause and read the lore about Blade and Moon Knight. Who doesn't know Blade? I feel like Moon Knight may be less known, but surely everyone knows Blade. So we have our protective cardboard, and we have our sprue. Tight baggy, the usual bases again. I really wish they would change them up a little bit, but you know. So there we are, one chunk of sprue. That is Blade with his spooky ghost hands that he's standing on. Not 100% sold on it. I'm curious if you could mod it slightly. Like, what does zombie or ghost hands have to do with vampires? I don't know. I guess he does just take on like supernatural things in general, but still. Moon Knight, much more basic sprue there. Massive flowing cape, he's got his bow staff there, and he's standing on a little bit of raised terrain that you can slot onto one of the existing base types, like it's done on there. Like, that's the only bit you've added on right there. Now, Supreme Judgment to be cast on assembly instructions. First up, Blade. So you've got to attach his sheaths to his back. Beyond that though, I don't know what that is, but it's going on to his, but what is that? Hang on. Oh, it's a dagger, I think. Yeah, it's a dagger. So besides that, yeah, and it looks like he slots specifically into the smoke. So if you wanted to, you could maybe trim down the hands, if you didn't like the hands. I know some people don't like them. So you could technically trim those down, make it all smoke, like he's just leaping down. And there was enough space to put the character art on the bottom. Moon Knight, half a page. Super simple. He is here for your ketamine. Yeah, nothing much to him. It shows you an alternative base type. You could just have it as like he's standing on a, I don't know what that would be. I like it better how they've done it in the official paint job, where it looks like it's part of the curb. But, you know, it's an option. Super simple. Nothing to complain about there at all. Very nice. So, then we have to crack into here. Be very gentle. Again, it's a slight too tight. So we just have some basic symbols. I'm just going to leave those in there. It's blood, stun, daze, etc. So the Midnight Suns, Blade, Black Cat, Doctor Strange, Doctor Voodoo, who's also out either later this month or next month, Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, and Moon Knight. So that is your Midnight Suns. What do we have? We have Siege of Darkness. It's fun art. Any number of Midnight Suns can spend 2 to play this card. If they did, they can immediately perform an attack with a cost of 0. Wow. That's really good. Bats the Ghost Hound, which is adorable. It's a reactive. When a Midnight Suns character is modifying attack or defense dice, it can spend 2 to play this card. Change one of the allied attack or defense dice to any result. This effect may change skulls. Well, if you get a really, really bad swingy roll, this would be a card to counter it for 2 power if you had it to spare. Nice. And then, Banishment. That's Elsa something or other. I keep forgetting her name. Blood Moon, something like that. After an attack made by an allied Midnight Suns character is resolved, if the attack roll contained hits, crits, or wilds, you can spend 2 to play this card. The target character and enemy characters within 2 gain stun. That doesn't seem as neat. Those 2 cards, though, seem really interesting. So then, let's move on to the character cards. Can you tell I'm wanting to go a little bit quickly to get to Dormammu? So Blade is a 4 threat, 6 health, medium move, 4/3/4, good defenses. His basic attack is a Mystic Katana that bleeds and pierces. He can chuck glaives range 4 for 4 dice with bleed. They give just 1 power. Knight of the Damphir, 4 power, 7 mystic, range 3. If he attacks someone who's already bleeding, he can reroll the dice. It does bleed if they're not bleeding already, and he gets a medium move. Now his affiliation bonus for Midnight Suns. Once per turn, it may spend 1, be placed within 1 of its current position. I mean, as far as affiliation bonuses go, I love that it's called Bump in the Night, but that's kind of rubbish, honestly. But maybe there are specific character tactics cards and whatnot make up for it. He can perform a shake for 1 power, so you can get rid of the thing that would normally steal 1 action for 1 power instead, which is neat. If he's defending against energy or physical, he can spend 2 and he gets to reroll any number of dice, including skulls. Vampiric Immortality. If at the end of this character's activation it gains 1 power... at the end of the character's activation, it gains 1 power, removes 1 damage for each other character within 2 that is bleeding. Any character. So if there's someone on the enemy team that's putting bleeds out as well, that just helps Blade. On his flip side, he gets very angry. He stays on 6 health, so that presumably means the rest of his card is the same as well. I think so? Looks like it. 12 health in total, 4 threat. He seems good. I actually thought he was the weaker of the two in the box, but I guess I got them mixed up. Yeah, he seemed good. So Moon Knight, he's a 3 threat, 5 health, medium move, 3/3/3. Bowstaff, which does stagger if you get a hit crit wild. You have to get all 3. Throwing Crescents, also range 4, also 4 physical, but with rapid fire. So very similar to the glaives. Avatar of Khonshu, 4, is that the same as well? Range 3, 7 mystic, 4 power. It is, it's the exact same like used line as Knight of the Vampire. Place within 1 of the target character and then it pushes if they're size 2 or less. Not as good as Blade's version. Chosen of the Khonshu, when this character is targeted by a mystic attack, he may use his superpower, add 2 dice to his defense roll. And he can't be pushed or moved. Multiple personalities. At the start of his activation, roll 1 die, and then depending on what the result is, it does different things to his stats or effects. Some of them are really good, like adding 2 dice to the next attack he makes. And this is just something you have to do. It's not a power you can activate. He also has stealth, so he can't be attacked outside 3, and he is wall crawler as well, so he isn't slowed down by climbing things. A pretty fair 3 threat, I would say. Also, I forgot to do the meme. Blade's a 4 threat character, he seems really good. Just a reminder, Daredevil is 4 threat. On Moon Knight's flip side, he stays at 5 health, so 10 health in total. His defenses stay the same. I kind of expected his multiple personalities to maybe get worse, but no, seems the same. Okay, well that means I don't need to say anything else different about their flipped sides because they're both identical, which means we get to move on to Dormammu. So what mysteries await us inside this gigantic Dormammu box? I should also point out this is a little on the pricier side, especially compared to your normal box releases. I think the RRP was $79.99, although do shop around. I got it for over £10 less than that, so yeah, it pays to shop around. Let's take a look at the back of the box. Not much to say there, although there is his text if you want to stop and read it. But yeah, let's crack in and see what awaits us. A gigantic baggie of sprue. Oh, that's just the scenery, I think. Hang on, let's just see what comes out. Oh, okay, there's a lot of stuff. Let's put that over there for a second. Anyone want a giant bit of cardboard? So, good grief. Alright, let's start with Supreme Judgment then. So, Dimensional Rift Assembly Guide, these are things you can use just as scenery, if you like, theme a table around Dormammu invading Earth, but specifically I believe they are also used for his ultimate encounter, which is included here as well. Simple enough, they look pretty neat. On this side is the man himself, oh, and his portal, sorry. Portal looks easy enough to assemble. Optional fire? Yeah, optional fire. Fire is never optional. The man himself, you've got to put his pauldrons on. Other than that, seems fine. And also keeping in mind, he's absolutely gigantic. I think he's slightly taller than like 2 Hulks placed on top of each other, roughly speaking. That is really large. So, let's see, this is the ultimate encounter, Dark Intruder. I'm not going to say too much about this. Atomic Mass Games actually did a live playthrough of this. The gist is you need to go around collecting magic runes to put on these portals to seal them. If the Crisis teams do it, they win. If they fail, Dormammu devours the earth. But we can take a quick flip through the magazine, of course. Standard, how to do an ultimate encounter at first, selecting your difficulty, how it affects it depending on what difficulty you play, the setup for it, which looks a little complicated. Yeah, spell components, that's what you're searching for, and that's right. He's got a pumpkin for a head. The Dark Dimension. Yeah, it might also be an encounter that's better done once the rest of Dormammu's affiliation is out, which is like the Hood and Mordo, etc. So we'll look at the sprue before we look at it. Like, there's a lot of stuff in that bag there. Let's see here. Let's start with the giant bag, I guess. Oh, there we are. That was on tight. So this is his... Let's see. That's his throne, for sure. I see that, like, that's a base. That's a stereotypical, like, that's a Hulk-sized base that would fit in there. The portal, sorry, I said throne because of Thanos' release. His portal would be there, which is the rest of this baggie. So there's the size of the portal. I'd estimate that at maybe 5 inches tall, roughly speaking. Do I have a measuring tape here? Oh, I thought I did, but I don't. I can't see it. Nope, I'm just gonna have to get. Oh, there it is. Aha! Here we go. Was I correct? It is exactly 5 inches, if you don't count the outer sprue. Ha! I have a good eye for that. So, what else do we have here then? What is this? Oh, that would be the optional fire, which is neat. You can actually, like, harvest that and use that on other bases. Maybe put it on Ghost Rider's base or something if you want to make it more cinematic. Speaking of cinematic, I don't know if these are like optional tiles for Dormammu to stand on, or if these are specific to the Ultimate Encounter. But they look neat, and it looks like that for sure slots into the base as well. It's exactly the same size. And that's Dormammu himself across 2 sprue. So that's his leg. That'd be like 3 inches. 3 inches high for his leg. Just under. It's like 2.5. 2.5 leg size. And then you've got his chest, which looks like another inch. Like, his leg on his own is roughly, maybe just slightly shorter than Hulk, I would say. Yeah, so there's his chest as well. His cape and back, I think. Where's his face? Is that his face? That's his face, it was upside down. Okay, hang on, let me check the assembly instructions. What did it say to base him on? It has been based on a normal base. No, wait, no, it looks weird. It looks very weird in that picture, actually. I don't know how in focus that is up close. It doesn't look right. It looks like it's got like modeling dust on it. On the box, he is on... Oh yeah, he is on one of them, for sure. He's on one of the uniques. The unique base fits him, I would say. That looks much cooler than a standard base. Don't know why you get 2. Oh, yes I do. Same reason you get them in the Thanos box. One for him standing on it, and then once you move him away from the portal, one so you've not got a hole sitting there if you want and care about that. So the other box is sprue. I want to try and keep these separate so I know what goes where. This is all the scenery elements. So that's the base for the portal with there's 2 of those, I think they're identical. And then the weird stuff coming from the Dark Dimension. Those will be fun to paint. And they're identical. 2 sets of scenery element. Alright, I'll get this out of the way and then we'll crack into all the card and the stat cards and whatnot. Alright, let's see all this stuff. There's a lot of cardboard in here. And a lot of cards. Oh yeah, because of the various upgrades you get for the way the mission works, that's right. So these are for the Ultimate Encounter. They have indentations for the spell components you need one of each colour to put in each portal. If you do it, the portal goes away, and there's 4 of them in total. So these, I'm not sure about these, I've forgotten from when I watched them do the playthrough, but these are the spell components of the 4 colours. You don't know what they are at the time, you flip them and that gives you what you need for the portals. Connected to the encounter is the various buffs and or debuffs that happen when you do spell related things. So I think you're supposed to shuffle these when you play. They do various things, they're only for the ultimate encounter. And I think they're all bad, maybe, for the Crisis teams. So we have 3 tactics cards. Dark Servants, which is Pumpkinhead Dormammu. Status, minions of the cosmic... oh, it is a cosmic threat specific one. Okay. Less interested now, but still neat. And the art is cool. Dark Restoration. Dark Dimension Reactive, so this is not... during the cleanup phase, Dormammu can spend 6 to play this. Place an allied character with threat value 3 or less that's been KO'd within 2 of him. It's healthy, no damage or special conditions or effects. Expensive, but very neat. You can just resurrect a dead teammate. Dark Empowerment, it's got Electra on it. Also Dark Dimension, so this one is Ultimate Encounter, these 2 not. During a character's activation, it may suffer 1 damage to play this card. Choose another character within 3 effects of the next attack made this turn by the active character. Cannot cause it to gain power. The chosen character gains power equal to the damage dealt by the attack. Okay, so if I understand that correctly, you take 1 damage to then take all the power received as a result of the next attack made against the person you selected, I think. Okay, who else is on this card? Just hand assassins, I think. So we have some more ultimate encounter related stuff, just like the quick rolls and quick reference comes with all of them. The stat cards for Dormammu in the ultimate encounter. This is just for the ultimate encounter, so you know, feel free to pause if you want to read those. It's not super important for normal play. He goes up different levels though. His presence increases, so that was 0, 1 and then 2, 3 presumably. Ooh, he gets very powerful at presence 3, doesn't he? Oh yeah, he does. 566 defense on his maximum level. He starts at 445. But then the most important part, he is usable in standard games of Crisis Protocol. He is Flames of the Faltine affiliation Dark Dimension, and no matter who you have him with, he takes control and makes it that affiliation, if I remember rightly. He's a massive 8 threat, which is a first as far as like a default threat value goes. I know you can get Thanos to there if you give him Infinity Stones, but still. 10 health, medium move, 445 defense. His basic Shadow Bolt does Hex, saps power, and is 6 dice. Incantation of Obliteration, 5 power, 8 dice, Mystic, range 3. You have to get a wild, a hit, a shield, and a skull to do Dark Miasma. It lets you do an additional one without paying the power. No wonder it needs such a weird result. It has to target a character within 2 of the original target. Okay. If Dormammu is included in a squad, the squad's affiliation becomes Dark Dimension. It has to be. He's that influential. This character and each other character you control gains 1 additional power during the power phase. During the power phase, if another allied character has 6 or more power, it suffers 1 damage. So he provides them extra power, but when they start getting a bit too much, it starts hurting them. It's certainly more interesting than the Midnight Suns affiliation. 3 power to teleport within 2 of current position. Only this character. Yeah, not of this dimension, it only affects him. 2 threat for Feel the Power of Darkness. The attacking character is pushed away small and gains Hex. If they're already hexed, it gets incinerated. And then Master of the Realm of Darkness. When he suffers damage, it gains 1 power instead of power equal to the damage suffered. When another allied character is damaged by an enemy effect, this character also gains 1 power. So he only ever gains 1 power from being smacked, but anytime a teammate is smacked, he also gains power. And he gets 2 power in the power phase. with all his affiliation bonus. When calculating success or failure for this character, the number of skulls in both attack and defense rolls count towards its total successes. Sorry. So that means when he's attacking someone, you count the skulls in the opponent's defense roll as positives for you, which is really, really powerful. He can fly, and he's immune to bleed, incinerate, and stagger. Very, very nice. On his wounded side, now they did share his cards. I believe the only thing that changes is his HP. Yeah, it goes from 10 to 12, so he gets 2 more HP. I don't think the affiliation bonus changes or anything like that. A force to be reckoned with, but about 8th threat you'd certainly hope he should be. And he's very, very imposing on the table as well. Nice. Definitely an interesting direction they're taking, adding such a powerful character that also controls the affiliation regardless of how many other miniatures you have. Yeah. Now if you aren't interested in the Ultimate Encounter stuff, you're going to be getting a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily useful to you for that price. But you are getting a very, very impressive looking mini with a very impressive looking portal and a couple of scenery elements that look pretty neat. Along with the stat cards and what else you need. So yeah, that's what you get in the Dormammu release for Crisis Protocol, and Moon Knight and Blade, who's kind of overshadowed in more ways than one by the mighty Dark Dimension dwelling Dormammu. Later this month, maybe, or next month, there's the new wave of Convocation, Doctor Strange releases, and Dormammu's Associates. So I'm not sure when they're releasing in the UK, because I think they were supposed to be at the same time as this, but I guess we'll see. Thanks for watching this unboxing video. Go check out a playlist of like 50 Crisis Protocol battle reports if you want, and I'll see you in the future. Until then, ta-ta for now.